Quebec Liberal MP Stephen Guilbeault resigned from cabinet yesterday, citing his strong opposition to the new energy agreement with Alberta. Guilbeault's decision was sudden, but not a complete shock to those who know how dedicated he is to fighting climate change.
Well, I guess since he was with Greenpeace before, I guess that was the move he had to do. I guess maybe his values don't align with the party anymore. So yeah, I figure that's the right move he just did.
Everybody building the pipelines. Why we cannot?
I think it's a pretty good thing. Like my carney doesn't have a lot of formation on environment and doesn't give a lot for environment, and it's the old. I think it's the old old Minister of Environment, Stephen Guilbeault.
Before being elected in 2019, Guilbeault was a founding member of Équiterre, a Quebec environmental organization. Guilbeault says he'll stay on as an MP, but has resigned from his cabinet roles and as Carney's lieutenant in Quebec. Joining us now is Rick Smith, president of the Canadian Climate Institute. Nice to see you again, Rick. It's been a while.
Good to see you.
You know Stephen Guilbeault. What do you make of his move to step down from cabinet?
Well, he's a very sincere, dedicated public servant. I can't imagine this was an easy decision. He obviously did what he felt he had to do, and we move forward.
Was it what you expected?
Yesterday was full of surprises, Carolyn. I fear that Stephen Guilbeault's resignation may not be the last of the unintended consequences. Our concern with yesterday's announcement is that it may start a process of unraveling of Canadian climate change policy because of a series of one-off deals with Alberta. It undermines the whole concept of kind of logical, effective, coherent national policy. So we'll see what happens.
So for people who are coming to this topic cold, Rick, let's just highlight what has changed in terms of the environmental regulations that have been pulled back. The emissions cap is dropping for Alberta. Clean electricity regulations won't be happening. And it's possible that the Northwest Coast tanker ban may be lifted for this pipeline. Are those the three major flags to you, or anything else here? I mean, not that that's not enough, but other things of concern.
There's actually a multifaceted, quite complicated agreement. So there's actually a lot more stuff, but you've highlighted some of the top lines. I mean, look, our main concern is that with respect to the clean electricity regulations, for instance, which we think are quite a good piece of policy, they both provide lots of room for new investment. They provide provinces with lots of flexibility to do what's right for their province. We thought those regulations were working quite well. But as of yesterday, the federal government has, with no notice, no due process that we can see, has suspended those regulations in the province of Alberta. And so it feels like a moment when things may well unravel from here on in. I mean, if I'm another province watching this, Alberta's just got a bunch of special one-off deals. I'm not sure how the federal government slams the door on any number of copycat proposals from other provinces that want a bunch of one-off deals, as opposed to what our country should have for the sake of investment and bringing down pollution levels, is logical, effective, even-handed policies across the country that treat provinces similarly.
Some people may look at this deal and say, yes, but we're getting carbon capture and storage, what could be the largest project of its kind in the world. Isn't that good for the environment? Isn't there a win there?
Sure. And in fact, we were, with respect to a couple of aspects of this agreement, we were complimentary yesterday. We were positive. We've been very clear. Our organization has been leading the charge, looking at the potential of industrial carbon pricing across the country to reduce emissions and attract a heck of a lot of investment for Canadian business. But the fact that industrial carbon pricing at the moment across the country, including in Alberta, is not working properly for a variety of reasons. So the agreement yesterday by both the federal government and the Alberta government said, yep, we're going to work together to improve industrial carbon pricing. Not a lot of detail. Devil's going to be in the details, but that was a positive step forward. We'll see about carbon capture and sequestration. I mean, this has been a long promised, undercapitalized initiative in Alberta. Really, we think that if there's one thing that's going to make carbon capture in Alberta go, it's capital from the private sector. That is not obvious at the moment. So that's really the go, no-go on that project.
Rick, we're having around-the-clock conversations about this proposed pipeline, but fundamentally BC is opposed and coastal First Nations are opposed. Do you even think it's going to happen?
I mean, Carolyn, I got to say I find it really puzzling and just kind of baffling that of all the very good, well-developed major project proposals across the country, and there's a lot of them in many different provinces, lots of real proponents coming forward saying, you know, we got a real mining project, we're going to move forward. We got the money, we're good to go. You know, lots of First Nations involvement in other provincial proposals, transmission lines, transportation corridors, you name it. Like lots of great major projects across the country that tick all the boxes the Prime Minister's laid out. Has to be a private sector proponent with real capital ready to go. There has to be enthusiasm from the local First Nations affected. Seems obvious. The province that these projects are going to be built in have to be on board. There's lots of other projects ready to go. I find it strange that there's so much focus on this one theoretical pipeline project.
Rick Smith, always appreciate your time and your insights. Rick Smith, president of the Canadian Climate Institute.
Good to see you.